Welcome to my channel, my respected friends and viewers. Today, we will explore part 4 of this new global order vlog series. And today's topic is World Fusion Outlook 2025. Fusion is recognized as a critical part of future energy strategies globally, driven by growing energy demands from sectors like AI and the needs for clean energy sources. In 2025, fusion energy is advancing rapidly, with China leading in specific areas like long duration plasma confinement, while the European Union is investing heavily in large scale projects like ITER and developing infrastructure. Whereas USA continues to lead in areas like blanket technologies and fuel processing, with significant private investment flowing into its fusion companies such as Pacific Fusion and Helion. International Atomic Energy Agency IAEA launched the World Fusion Outlook 2025, highlighting the fusion energy is becoming a cornerstone of national energy strategies worldwide. The global fusion industry attracted over 2.5 billion in investment over the past year, with job growth projected at over 200% for 2025. So let's start today's journey, World Fusion Outlook, Part 4, the geopolitical race. The fusion imperative, the new geopolitical race. In today's vlog, we are talking about fusion, but not just the size. We are looking at it as the next great geopolitical battlefield. The conversion at the highest level, like the United Nations General Assembly and IAEA, has changed. It's no longer just about preventing nuclear proliferation, it's about actively promoting peaceful nuclear tech with fusion at the center. Why? Because the nation or blocks that crack commercial fusion first won't just get clean energy, they will gain unprecedented geopolitical leverage, control over advanced supply chain, and the ability to shape the global economy for the next century. This isn't a science fair. It's a high stake race for power, and everyone is at the starting line. Fusion energy has transitioned from scientific dream to a strategic geopolitical goal. IAEA is now actively embedding fusion within global diplomacy. The race is not just about energy, but about future economic dominance. The narrative has shifted from if fusion is possible to who will deploy it first. The contenders, a multipolar race for fusion supremacy. China is aggressively pursuing fusion. The USA leverage a vibrant private sector, whereas the European Union anchor public sector multilateralism via the ITER project. Other powers like the UK, Jet Step, Japan, and South Korea are making significant strides. The fusion race isn't a two horse race, it's a multipolar scramble. China is the state powered contender, pouring billions into state led projects and building an unrivaled industry supply chain. Their record-breaking plasma confinement times shows that they are formidable force. Meanwhile, the USA strategy is different, fueled by Silicon Valley-styled venture capital and tech giants betting on innovation and speed from the private sector. Europe is established giant with the massive ITER project, but there's a real risk for it being too slow and bureaucratic. And let's not forget from other key players from Asia. to the United Kingdom. This fragmented competitive landscape is what defines the current race. No one has a monopoly on the path to success. The battlefield, key technological domains, plasma confinement, advanced material developing material that can withstand extreme neutron bombardment in critical is critical, with facilities like IFMIF drones being built to test them. Fuel cycle and tritium breeding, high temperature superconducting magnets. So, what are they actually competing on? It's not one single thing, but a series of complex technological battlefields. First, you have to create a star on Earth. That's the plasma confinement challenges. Using massive magnetic fields in machines like tokamaks, then you need material tough enough to contain that star, which is why new test facilities are being built just to bombard materials with fusion neutrons. The fuel cycle is another huge hurdle. We need to breed tritium fuel within the reactor itself within the reactor itself. And finally, breakthroughs in a superconducting magnets are making smaller, more powerful reactors possible. Winning the race means making progress on all these fronts simultaneously. The financial arsenal, funding the fusion dream, global private investment in fusion has surged, with top firms like CFS and Helion raising over a billion each. Corporate power purchase agreement like Helion's with Microsoft provide crucial demand signals and validate commercial viability. National governments remain pivotal, with China's state backed funding dwarfing US federal support, highlighting different strategic models. Multilateral development banks are re engaging with nuclear, opening future avenues for large scale public financing of fusion projects. This revolution runs on money, and the funding landscape is diverse. On one hand, you have a tidal wave of private capital flowing into startups, betting on massive returns. A key moment was when a company like Helion signed a power purchase agreement with Microsoft. It wasn't just funding, it was a vote of confidence from a future customer. On the other hand, state funding, particularly from China, shows a long term strategic commitment that private venture capital cannot match. And now we are seeing the World Bank and other development banks taking notice again, which could unlock public financing on a scale needed for final deployment. The financial battle is as fierce as the technological one. The regulatory and legal landscape, unlike nuclear fission, fusion faces fewer proliferation risks, easing some diplomatic and regulatory hurdles. A significant regulatory gap exists. Most countries lack a specific framework for fusion, creating uncertainty for investors. Australia exemplifies a legal opportunity as fusion is not prohibited under its national environment law like fission is. The industry is pushing for distinct technology neutral regulations separate from fission to accelerate development. So, beyond the lab and the boardroom, there is a critical legal and regulatory dimension. The good news is that fusion doesn't carry the same proliferations risks as fission, which makes it a more palatable technology globally. However, most countries, including Australia, do not have clear rules for it yet. This regulatory vacuum creates risk. Australia's situation is fascinating because its laws accidentally allow fusion while banning fission, creating a unique opening. The industry itself is now loudly advocating for new sensible regulations tailored to fusion's actual safety profile. The block that can create the most attractive and clear and regulatory environment will have a major advantage in attracting talent and investment. The stakes: sovereignty, climate, and global order. Achieving fusion first translates into massive geopolitical influence. It offers a sovereignty path to energy independence. Fusion is increasingly framed as a tool for meeting international climate obligations. For powers, it represents a change to move up the value chain from raw material exporters to leaders in a high tech industry. So, what is the price? It's nothing less than a future world order. The winner will have a dominant position akin to Pit- akin to petrostates of the 20th century, but with a clean, limitless energy source. For any nations, for any nation, it means true energy sovereignty, free from geopolitics of oil and gas. It also becoming a legal and more imperative in the face of climate change. Fusion could be the ultimate tool for fulfilling climate justice. For countries like Australia, it's a golden opportunity to transform from a quarry for the world into a technological leader. The stakes are existential, both for national strategy and for the planet. The Australian paradox: opportunity versus inaction. Let's bring it home. Australia is in a paradoxical position. It has all the ingredients for success: brilliant researchers, the raw fuel for fusion, and legal green light. It even has new alliances like AUKUS that could be leveraged for tech transfer. But there is a stunning lack of action. Fusion isn't in our energy market plans, our workforce strategy, or our national industry policy. We are like a farmer sitting on gold mine but waiting to be told to start digging. While the world races ahead, we left behind, watching the fusion economy get built elsewhere and failing to secure our own sovereign future. This morning, in today's news, uh, OC, AUKUS was confirmed by the President USA and Prime Minister Australia addressing the parent press conference together. Fusion research collaboration wasn't mentioned. That omission, as I see and hopefully is likely intentional rather accidental, for three reasons. One, political signaling. Trump immediate focus is on visible job creating, resource based trade, not on long term scientific R&D that doesn't yield short term gains. Security security classification. The US fusion program is deeply tied to dual use military technologies like TARPA and NIF. Plasma physics overlaps with weapon simulations. So, formal public collaboration clauses are kept out of joint communiques. Number three, strategic layering. The AUKUS framework already contains a hidden advanced capabilities pillar where fusion, AI, and quantum computing are research items but deliberately not headline announcements. So let's see what is in it for Australia and how does Australian leadership try to activate these hidden clauses for the better future of Australia. So let's look now into the Pakistan frontier. Pakistan fusion energy technology entry points. At the moment, they are not active player, partnering with China's East or CEFTR projects as a component or material supplier can be an entry point. Pakistan can also offer its nuclear regulatory experience to regional initiatives on fusion safety frameworks. Build build an AI fusion hybrid R&D park in partnership with Gulf investors who seek scientific prestige rather than full-scale reactors. Pakistan's nuclear expertise PAEC and KANUPP Chashma gives it a technical base for small scale plasma and material research. Though not at fusion reactor scale, if the country plays it strategically, it could partner with China's East EAST or CFETR projects as a component or material supplier, offer its nuclear regulatory experience or regional initiatives on fusion safety frameworks, a diplomatic niche, build an AI fusion hybrid R&D park in partnership with Gulf investors who seek scientific prestige. In short, Pakistan's best option is to pivot from being a consumer of systems to being a participant in the materials regulatory and simulation ecosystem under a China Gulf hybrid umbrella rather than the US European Union bloc. References and sources, those were consulted, are in front of your screen. There were approximately 30 of them, so please feel free to have a look at them for deeper understanding of this scenario. Um, I would say thank you very much for watching now. After going through the slides, subscribe and stay tuned as for the next episode on blockchain, crypto, quantum computing, followed by the underpinning element to all of these five technologies, which are part of the global race. So, till then, look after yourself, stay healthy. It's bye bye for now.